Imagine walking into a showroom and seeing a motorcycle so massive that everything around it suddenly looks smaller. A long, low cruiser, a huge fuel tank, heavy fenders, massive chrome details, and sitting proudly in the middle is a gigantic V-twin engine. This isn't just another cruiser. This is the kind of motorcycle that makes you stop, look twice, and ask one question. What if Kawasaki brought the Vulcan 2000 back for 2027? A legendary name, a massive engine, modern technology, and that unmistakable heavyweight attitude could create one of the most interesting cruiser comebacks we've seen in years. But could Kawasaki really bring back the spirit of the Vulcan 2000 without turning it into just another modern cruiser? That's exactly what we're exploring today. Welcome back to Acer Rider, where we talk about legendary motorcycles, future concepts, and the machines that keep the passion for two wheels alive. And trust me, if Kawasaki ever decides to revive the Vulcan 2000, the result could be absolutely massive. The original Kawasaki Vulcan 2000 was never designed to be subtle. Everything about this motorcycle was about presence. The long wheelbase, low seat, wide body, enormous fuel tank, large front end, chrome exhausts, and that huge V-twin engine created a motorcycle that looked powerful even before the engine was started. It wasn't trying to imitate a small sport cruiser. It wasn't trying to be lightweight. It wanted to be big. And that was exactly the point. When you looked at the Vulcan 2000, you immediately understood what Kawasaki was trying to create. A heavyweight cruiser built around enormous torque, relaxed highway performance, and an attitude that was impossible to ignore. The engine was the heart of the entire experience. The original Vulcan 2000 used a massive 2,053 cubic centimeter liquid-cooled V-twin, and that number alone tells you how serious Kawasaki was about building a heavyweight cruiser. This wasn't an engine designed to scream toward extreme RPM. Its personality was completely different. Low-end torque, strong acceleration, smooth cruising, and that feeling that there was always another wave of power waiting underneath the throttle. Now imagine taking that philosophy and bringing it into 2027. What would Kawasaki do? In my opinion, the biggest mistake would be trying to make the new Vulcan 2000 look completely futuristic. This motorcycle doesn't need to look like a spaceship. It needs to look like a Vulcan. I would want Kawasaki to keep the long, low silhouette, the huge fuel tank, the exposed V-twin, the wide rear section, and those large exhausts. But underneath that classic design, almost everything could be modernized. The engine could remain a large V-twin-inspired power plant, but with modern fuel injection, improved combustion, ride-by-wire throttle control, better cooling, and advanced engine management. And Kawasaki wouldn't necessarily need to chase an insane horsepower number. Personally, I think the real goal should be massive usable torque. Imagine rolling onto the throttle at low RPM and feeling that huge engine pull the motorcycle forward effortlessly. That's what a Vulcan should feel like. Not nervous, not overly aggressive, just powerful. The kind of power that makes highway cruising feel effortless. And then comes the transmission. A modern 2027 Vulcan 2000 could potentially move beyond the older 5-speed philosophy and adopt a 6-speed gearbox. The lower gears could provide strong acceleration, while 6th gear could keep engine RPM lower during long-distance highway riding. A slipper clutch could make downshifts smoother, while a bidirectional quick shifter could add a completely unexpected level of modern performance. But here's the thing. I wouldn't want Kawasaki to make the quick shifter the star of the motorcycle. The engine should remain the star. Technology should simply make the experience better. And that's where modern electronics could completely change the Vulcan 2000. A 6-axis IMU could potentially support cornering ABS, traction control, and other rider assistance systems. Different riding modes could also give the motorcycle different personalities. Rain mode could provide smoother throttle response. Road mode could offer balanced performance, and sport mode could unleash the strongest response from that massive V-twin. Personally, I think that's the perfect way to modernize a heavyweight cruiser. Give the rider more control without taking away the character. Because if Kawasaki adds so much electronics that the motorcycle starts feeling disconnected, it loses something important. The Vulcan should still feel mechanical. It should still feel alive. Braking would also need a major upgrade. A motorcycle this large and powerful needs serious stopping power. Large dual front discs, modern radial-mounted calipers, high-quality brake components, and cornering ABS could provide the confidence needed to control such a massive machine. Suspension would be equally important. A future Vulcan 2000 could feature fully adjustable suspension, or potentially even semi-active electronic suspension. Imagine the system automatically adjusting damping depending on braking, acceleration, road conditions, and riding mode. That could make a huge cruiser surprisingly comfortable, while still providing stability when the road becomes more demanding. And then there is weight. This is where Kawasaki would have a difficult decision. The Vulcan 2000 should remain a big motorcycle. That's part of its identity. But modern materials could reduce unnecessary weight through lighter wheels, optimized exhaust components, and improved chassis construction. The goal shouldn't be to turn it into a lightweight sport bike. It should simply feel more controlled, big, but manageable. And when it comes to the design, I think Kawasaki should be extremely careful. Picture a 2027 Vulcan 2000 sitting under showroom lights. A huge round LED headlight, a long metallic fuel tank, a massive V-twin sitting proudly between the frame, deep black or metallic paint, polished chrome details, large exhaust pipes running along the side, a wide rear tire, and a low stretch stance. You wouldn't need a badge to know what it is. You'd know immediately. That's the power of iconic design. Kawasaki could offer several exciting colors as well. Imagine deep metallic black with chrome, candy red with blacked-out mechanical components, dark green with polished metal details, pearl white with chrome, or even a special retro-inspired color scheme paying tribute to the original Vulcan. Personally, I think a deep black and chrome combination would look absolutely incredible on a modern Vulcan 2000. Inside the cockpit, Kawasaki could keep things simple. A compact TFT display could provide speed, RPM, gear position, fuel range, riding mode, traction control settings, and navigation information. Smartphone connectivity and USB-C charging could make the motorcycle more practical for modern riders. But I wouldn't want Kawasaki to install a giant tablet in front of the rider. This is a Vulcan. The engine should get more attention than the screen. Comfort would also be a major priority. A wide, supportive seat, improved vibration control, better wind protection, cruise control, and refined suspension could transform the motorcycle into an incredible long-distance machine. Imagine riding for hours on an open highway. The V-twin is calmly turning underneath you. The road stretches toward the horizon. The exhaust note follows behind you, and every time you look down, you see that massive engine sitting proudly in front of you. That's the kind of experience that makes a cruiser special. But perhaps the most important part of a 2027 Vulcan 2000 wouldn't be horsepower, it wouldn't be technology, it wouldn't even be the engine size, it would be presence, because that's what made the original Vulcan 2000 memorable. There are plenty of motorcycles that are fast, there are plenty that are comfortable, and there are plenty that are technologically advanced, but very few motorcycles make people stop what they're doing simply because of how they look. The Vulcan 2000 did that. And if Kawasaki ever brings it back, I believe it should do exactly the same thing. A motorcycle that doesn't disappear into traffic. A motorcycle that looks enormous standing still. A motorcycle that feels powerful before you even touch the throttle. A motorcycle that respects its history while embracing modern engineering. That is what a 2027 Kawasaki Vulcan 2000 should be. Not simply an old name placed on a new motorcycle, not just another cruiser with a huge engine, but a true heavyweight comeback. And now I want to hear from you. If Kawasaki really brought back the Vulcan 2000 for 2027, what would you want most? A massive V-twin, more than 2,000 cubic centimeters, modern electronics, a 6-speed transmission, semi-active suspension? Or would you simply want Kawasaki to recreate the original heavyweight attitude with modern reliability? Tell me your choice in the comments. And if you enjoyed this concept, hit the like button, subscribe to Acer Rider, and turn on the notification bell because there are plenty more legendary motorcycles waiting to make a comeback. One important disclaimer before we finish.